Welcome to Live with Neve. Yes, and welcome. You can't see us, but that's all right because you can hear me already. And greetings, friends, Romans, and countrymen. Lend me your beer. I come not to bury Caesar, but to tell him to get out of my bed. And that's it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So here we are. We're going live with Neve. We've got all kinds of fun stuff. I have our friend Tracy Bickford from down in my old stomping grounds of Florida. And she's got a couple of great new songs out. And we're going to play a couple of those in a minute. Tracy, I'm going to be right back with you while we do the news. And then I'll have you back on in about 15 minutes. So gotcha. Welcome, everybody. Give her a big, hard welcome to the Live with Neve show. And we'll be right back with her. And I'm going to just go down all the great news that's fit to print. And you know how much that's out there. Okay, we'll move that, minimize. And now we're going to go. And let's see what kind of great news we have today for Friday. As most of you know have watched the show for a while, I tend to try and find the stories that make you feel good, that make us feel like something worth thinking about. Does it work all the time? No, there's just not always good news. Sometimes it's horrible. And if it's really awful, I might make a comment, but if it's the same crap you're getting on all the newspapers, I'm not going to dig into it. I'm not into arguing with people about their politics. They have their mind made up, and the 15% who don't have it made up are full of crap. They've made it up, but they just won't answer to a pollster. Because everybody doesn't trust pollsters. I don't know why. Not that they lie and do fake polls. But okay, one thing we have, outrage in the Middle East. Saudi Arabia, great concern. Biden takes election year gamble with Yemen strikes. And how the Houthis' hornet's nest may sting the USA. Well, you guys can watch that tonight on your 6 o'clock news and hear all about the who's, the what's, and the whys. I don't really, I don't really care. Either side has things that really bug me. And the whole war in Ukraine pisses me off. But here's some sort of tough news. Young Swedes are ready to fight after being warned to prepare for war. That is scary stuff, people. Hi, Rick, by the way. I didn't pop you up here. We have problems, people. And I've said this a year ago. I just said when this whole Ukraine thing started, what's our national interest in Ukraine? They have beautiful women. We frequently send them over here for escort services. They have lots of money. They do all kinds of things, but I'm just, it's like the Houthis. I can't come up with a single thing that the world needs from the Houthis, other than to quit throwing rockets around, starting wars, pirating ships. And guys, if you're going to attack Israel, you're wasting your stuff. So just knock it off. It would be easy to have this end. Hamas, surrender, man. It's all you got to do. And it's done. And then make peace and stick with it. You're never going to get all that from the river to the sea. It's just not going to happen. They've been there for 4,000, 5,000 years. Hundreds of years before the Quran was even written. So don't start with me. I'm not in the mood on Friday. If I get anybody starts up about, I don't like these people or that, just you're going to get bounced and probably won't come back. So they say, some wacky goof is saying that Nikki Haley, presidential candidate, is using weather control to steal the Iowa vote. You know, politics is the art of bullshit and making it palatable. We tell you, they tell us what we want to hear, and we go and we think, oh, that's pretty cool. I can get along with that. But it's all bullshit. At the end of the day, it's all about cash and power. Let's see. Biden sells his economic strength, but voters aren't buying yet. I don't know why. Maybe the food prices, like $120 a bag for shit that should cost 30 or 40. And in good news, the Patriots, I know a lot of people hate the Patriots, but I got to tell you, they have hired the youngest coach in history, and his name is Jared Mayo. He's a black man. I'm going to check out his cred here. He's head coach. Let's see where he's from. He's been his entire career with New England, so he's been right there with Belichick forever. I have a feeling this guy is going to do a great job. Mark Rich, my good buddy, man, I'm glad to see you here. It's late by you. What is it? It's going on. What? Let me see. It's 6. We're 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Man, Mark, you're up late. I figured you'd be all asleep and comfortably snoring. But thank you for coming by. For anybody who doesn't realize it, Mark Rich was one of my first guests on the show. And one of the first people that I really started to get an affinity for because he had a great band. And I got to say, man, the guy was hard as hell working. He was always upgrading and pushing the band to get better. And he got rid of a couple of people, got a really solid drummer. And I just think he's a great guy. He's a nice chap, as they'd say in England. Oh, it's 9:06, so I was off a little bit. Yeah, I've not been to England proper. I've actually sat in the airport and had a connecting flight. I didn't get to go eat any fish and chips or any of that. I just stayed on the plane. But so in the good news, the Patriots have a new coach, and I can certainly say that I hope he does well. You know, it's an important thing. Black people being into the coaching jobs is like there's not a lot of them, and it's getting better. They certainly deserve the opportunity that anybody else does. Okay, we have. I'm trying to find something that's good news. I've got waves of threats, hoaxes, harassment, unnerving many Americans. Listen, people, don't let harassment, stuff like that worry you. People on social media do and say a lot of stupid things. I've done my part, but most people who just sit and rag on people innocently, yes, Mark, um, it's nice to hear somebody singing a little bit of good news. And Mark's really a great guy, and he's paid his dues. It's about time he gets nominated for an ISSA award and wins because they've earned it. And I say that to my friends at ISSA, please vote for Mark Rich and Shooting the Breeze. NYC now, we're considering curfews because we have a pandemic of panhandling. How are they going to do this? New York City, they're going to just shut it down at 10 o'clock, and we're all who go to events and parties and bars and things like that, concerts, oh, we're going to have to get shook down. I'm just going to get on the train and go back to Jersey, or on the boat if they haven't screwed that up. And they've cut the ferry so that you can't get off of Manhattan at midnight anymore. They last boats around 9 o'clock, and that's just the kind of thing that pisses me off. When the last boat's at midnight, I can get on the boat after a concert and get home. Otherwise, we got to take the train, stop in Newark, switch trains, go down to Middletown, and then call an Uber in the middle of the night. It's just not happening. Let's see. There's some other new Uber news breaking. To make room for illegals, Chicago now is moving the hotel shuttle pickup area. That's where they're going to be putting these illegals. They've been housing people there for months. And again, I say to all of you who voted for open borders, you made a mistake. It's not going to be easy to fix. We've got at least 15 million people have come here. So I don't know what you're going to do, but it's not really that cool. In fact, it's really far from it. I'm queuing up Tracy as we speak because I'd love you to hear her new song. Okay, there we go. I just had it queued up. And one thing while I'm sitting here talking about, Tracy's been a friend of mine for a couple of years now. She's been on the show 2 or 3 times, and we love her, you know. Like I say, the people I really enjoy playing with and having on the show are people who are working their ass off, and they get a little better every time I have them on the show, man. And I have to say, Tracy's been really doing a great job, and the girl works really, really hard. So I'm just here we go. She's got new stuff that I haven't heard, which I want to hear. But you know what? Her and her husband have weathered all kinds of things. I know they're past a little bit. They've dealt with the law with regard to some stupid marijuana thing, and we've talked about it on the show. So I'm not spreading anything that she hasn't talked to me about. But before we have her on, I just want to play this song for you, and I hope it's loud enough. I'm doing this because I've been having some issues with my control. Hey, we got Irish in the house. Irish, I'm going to send you an invite. We'll be bringing you on in a moment. Copy. And let's see. Here we go. Paste. Okay. Now, Irish, I'm putting this up on the screen. Live with Nisha. And if you'd like, just copy that. In fact, if anybody likes it and wants to join us on the show, copy what's on the screen, pop it in, and you know the drill, Irish, my Detroit madman and cohort, partner in crime, and sometimes co-host. So I hope he does stop by. But I'm going to bring Tracy on, and I'm going to just say, hey, how you doing, girl?
How's it going? Good. How are you?
Excellent, man.
Awesome.
Working out, I'm getting
Good to
tan,
hear.
fit, lost
Is that
15
your
or
New
so.
Year's resolution?
Well, see, I'm one of those guys. I don't make resolutions because I know I'm highly prone to breaking them. In this case, I
Right.
just said I'm going to get up in the morning and do what I got to do.
That's right.
Got on the treadmill and I'm
I
just
know.
doing it. I hate
Right.
doing that kind of shit. My favorite exercise is sitting at a drum kit for 4 hours and works all parts of the body and, keeps me in relatively good shape. What do you think, guys? For 104, am I looking badass or what? I mean, I feel good.
For sure. For sure.
I haven't used any Viagra yet. I mean, what the hell, man? I'm just swinging. But I
Well,
saw
you're doing good then.
I'm behaving myself too, in spite of my other people might say it's not true, but I really have. I have a very boring existence, and now that pot's legal, there's nothing. I'm not a criminal anymore. Here in Jersey, it's and that's great. It's a great feeling not looking in the rear view, thinking, "Well, I got a joint in my pocket," and
Right.
they're going to
It's
arrest
not legal
me.
here.
Florida's still not quite enlightened. At least you have medical marijuana down there for the people who really need
Right.
it.
Yes.
But
We're halfway there.
halfway. I've got my medical card because if I got an assortment of grab bag of elements that they would give it to me, and I'm glad they did. The only problem with IC is they've made it so expensive that everybody's going to somebody they know.
Yeah.
They don't want to go buy this. They don't want to go some ditch weed and pay, $50 for a quarter of some Mexican skank.
But then you got to be careful what you're getting too off the street nowadays.
Right. The fentanyl thing. People putting fentanyl on weed. That is scary as hell because I would have never seen that.
It's horrible here in Florida. Horrible.
Well, that means I guess people really need to work hard to support their local bag man is all I can say.
Right. Well, I mean, you're better off going to get it at your doctor. At least you know what you're getting, and you pay the price. But at least you're alive.
Well, that's true. Well, I think all
it's worth
states.
It to know what you're getting. To me, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Well, I think they should make it legal for people who are on the program to grow like 6 plants. Here in New Jersey, we can't do that.
They should legalize it recreationally here in Florida. It needs to be. We're so far behind. Yeah,
I'm sorry. I heard something. I thought I might have heard a banging on the wall next door.
You got a boogeyman.
In which case, I'm going to have to turn into the Neil that people tell you about that they've never seen. Can I
Uh-oh.
tell you? That's all right. Everybody likes to see me freak out once in a while.
Oh.
Doesn't happen too often, and it's usually an entertaining freak out because I've gotten past the point where I just want to insult somebody. I just want to
Right.
I just rather let them be laughed at and let their. I tell it. Come on, you come on the air. Anybody who wants hate mail, come on. I want to hear it all. Tell me what a rotten person I am. Because
Oh my
if
goodness.
somebody has that much venom for me, you'd think it was an ex-wife or something. but
Somebody like that. Yeah, an ex-girlfriend.
exactly, or disgruntled bandmates. Either way, I don't care. I'll talk about it. I own everything I've ever done. In fact, everything you heard, people, just assume it's all true. A lot of it is complete bullshit, but it's
Okay,
fun. And so I'm going to go ahead and play a song, which the fact that you wrote a song about your man, and I know what you two guys have gone through together, and I'm really happy that you're a happy couple because there's not a lot of them out there. And staying together, even if you got somebody who's the best, it can be incredibly hard.
Yes.
So I'm queuing up this song, folks.
We have our 28th wedding anniversary coming.
I know. I thought it wasn't that this week. Or you?
Yes, it's been on 2 days.
All right. We'll celebrate it all week. It's the best way to do it. All right. This song, people, is a very heartfelt song, and I'm going to turn it up so you can give a listen to it. I think you're going to like the words, and I just like the fact that someone wrote a love song about their husband. Usually you hear a lot of guys writing about their girl, but you don't hear a lot of songs from a female perspective. But a lot of the songs I hear from a female perspective, that dirty bastard did me wrong.
Right, yeah, you always hear that.
The revenge stuff. And,
yes.
I'm going to put something up. My friend, here he is, Nick Clemens. Partially, I play with him sometimes. And he's here. He's got a link to the Big Man's Bash. I certainly plan on attending. And if I'm in town, and let's see what the date is here. Any rate, I don't have the date, but listen, check out Nick Clemens, folks. Great guy, and he does good things for the community, and he's a hell of a nice guy, and I love playing with him when I get the opportunity. But here's the song. Sing the blues.
Don't go messing with my baby. His ring's on my hand. Don't get your hopes up and go crazy. He's a one-woman man. I'm his one and only, and he shows me when the sun goes down. Yes, he does. And I know that he feels the same way when the morning comes around. 'Cause he's tall, dark, and handsome, bedroom eyes. Everybody wants him, and I can see why he gives me hot, cold fever, weak in the knees.
Ah! So sorry. And that band I've actually played with, those the Georgia Satellites. We're going to go back to you. I'm so sorry. Here we go. You'll get it. Listen to these words, people.
Don't go messing with my baby. His ring's on my hand. Don't get your hopes up and go crazy. He's a one-woman man. I'm his one and only, and he shows me when the sun goes down. Yes, he does. And I know that he feels the same way when the morning comes around. 'Cause he's tall, dark, and handsome, bedroom eyes. Everybody wants him, and I can see why he gives me hot, cold fever, the keeper of my heart, so please don't go messing with my baby. That's my man.
Yes.
Got another thing coming. If you think he's coming for you, you better find your own someone to hold on to, 'cause he's mine, all mine. If you don't see it, you're blind as can be. Keep your hands to yourself, 'cause he belongs to me. So don't go messing with my baby. His ring's on my hand. Don't get your hopes up and go crazy. He's a one-woman man. I'm his one and only, and he holds me in the palm of his hand. 'Cause I'm his little lady. That's my man.
Nice vocals. How about it, peeps? How about it, man? Come on, you folks. Give it up. All right. Let's see, we're going into some other folks out there playing some Cajun music. So let me ask you, how do you go about writing your songs?
Well, I just get a thought in my head, and
I mean, the lyrics, do you write the lyrics out and then work with your producer? Like, that's a great blues song, really, just, I liked it. Very nice.
yes, thank you so much. Yeah, I usually come up with a melody.
Oops, we're breaking up. I'm losing you a little bit.
Lyrics. There you.
We're having a little technical
Can you hear me?
difficulty. I hear you now. But, maybe try speaking closer to the mic. I'm not sure.
Awesome. Okay.
Oh, she's coming and going. Well, hopefully you're
Yeah.
gonna get a.
I mean, I've
Yeah,
been
there
sitting
you are.
outside, so I know.
Now I hear you.
Yeah. There you go.
So
Okay, yeah,
So
I
you-
usually come up with some. Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask you if that, because to me it's fascinating how different songwriters have a different approach. Some people write out all the song lyrics and then work the music in, and I'm more of the guy who I have an idea musically, and then I'll get with my friends, like my guitar player, and work out a song that I've written, and
I can
hopefully.
I can do both of those though. I usually will write a song and I'll have a melody for that song, and I go sing it to my producer. He'll play the guitar to what I'm singing,
Right.
and he'll go from there. Or somebody can send me a melody of their own, and I can write lyrics to that as well.
Right. Well, that's a great song, and there was another one. While we're here, I'm just gonna look through. I want to go back to your page because. Oh, okay, we'll get back to you in a moment. One of your songs that you wrote lately, a while ago, it was like it just had such a Patsy Cline thing to it, and I said that, and I was like, I really like this tune. It just had a timeless feel to it, and it could have been any time from like Roy Orbison back in the 50s up until now. It had.
Was it Dead or Alive?
I'm gonna see. Is that on your Facebook page?
It is.
Okay, I'm looking for it. Let me
Mm,
It may be
mm.
because you put it out relatively recently, and when I heard it, I just heard something new from you out of your
Night
voice.
Prowler.
Night, say it again.
Night Prowler.
I think that's it. Let
That
me.
that might be it because when you say Patsy Cline or whatever, that I think because my voice
Right. It
with
was.
that
It.
song might be
What
what
is
you're
it?
talking
Night.
about.
Night's Charger.
Prowler.
Prowler. Okay. Sorry. I need to get one of those cars
You're okay. Yeah.
with all the millions of dollars
Yeah.
and.
Yeah, but the that one I put out. Yeah. It has to be Night Prowler. I think I put out Dead or Alive before that one, so yes. I'm
Yeah.
confused myself.
Well, I hear you. I've got so many things over the years I've worked out. I'm like, what song? I don't remember
I
that.
know. I know. I wrote down all the songs I've written, and then Dave, my husband, would be like, "What about that one and that one?" I'm like, "Oh right, yeah. Oh gosh,
Right,
I
right.
forget."
How often do you write?
I try to write it. I try to write a song once a month. I'm always
Good.
writing, but to
Hmm.
put together a song is a different story. But I try to do one a month.
Good for you. That's the discipline that it takes. I really
I have.
respect that. A good. I really respect that about you because I know you're always working at it. I see you and I pay attention. And I
Thank
like
you.
people who are, doing it and they're just putting their heart and soul into something.
Well,
And in your case, I've watched you get better and better and better as a songwriter and
thank
as a
you.
vocalist. You
Thank you
you
so much.
and I really mean that. I'm very fond of having you on. And when I'm in Florida, I
I
will definitely.
appreciate you
I want to
having me.
come hang. I want to go down and see. We're going to go down and hang out with Greg Allman. Have you run into him at his store?
Oh
His
no, I
son.
have not. Dang it! I need to do that. You said Tarpon Spring,
He's in Newport Richie.
Newport Richie. Wow, that's even closer.
He's got some like
Ooh.
rock and roll thing. But here we are, folks, live with Neve. We have Night Prowler by the one and only Tracy Bickford. This is it.
I am here the night prowler. After dark, you are mine. If you're walking through the park upon a hot summer night, I'm coming to get you. Guess you should have stayed inside. There's no place for you to run, and there's no place for you to hide. I'm the maker of your screams, invading all your dreams. There's no escape, and if the chill runs down your spine, the paralyzing kind, for you is too late, and you'll never get away, 'cause I'm the night prowler.
Thank
If
you,
you're
Mark.
hoping to
She
find
is great.
a lovely stroll in the midnight air, you're out of your mind, 'cause I'm coming to get you. It doesn't matter where you are. If the sun is sinking low, you won't go very far. The night prowler, queen of the dark, go out after hours. I'll tear you apart. Yeah, you're headed for trouble. If you're headed my way, you ain't safe to walk the streets until the light of day. I'm the maker of your screams, invading all your dreams. There's no escape,
I'm live.
and if the chill runs down your spine,
Come
the
on and join us.
paralyzing kind, for you is too late.
That song, I tell you, that song. Oh, wow. Okay, so I wanted that to be a Halloween song. Okay,
Okay.
so I tried to get it out before Halloween, and I was planning my vacation for a month, and I was going to Washington State.
Oh, sorry.
So, so I figured, well, I'll do it while I'm at Cindy Lou's house, and I'll
Right.
do it there because she had a studio. Well, when I got there, I brought the wrong book and I couldn't remember the last verse,
Oh
and I was
shit.
so mad. I'm like, man, oh my gosh. So there went Halloween come and gone. So I got home and I looked at the lyrics and I didn't really care for them and I changed them.
Good.
So I'm like, well, everything happens for a reason. I'm glad that
Yes.
I forgot them because I changed the last verse into something better. So now it's just a spooky song instead of a Halloween song now.
Well, it's really a nice tune. I like it. I
Thank
think
you.
I know your guitar player produces you, and I think he does great work. And
He does fantastic. He plays all those instruments single
and he,
handedly.
well, my hat's off to him. In fact, when you talk to him next time, tell him I'd like to have him on the show. I'd like to talk to him about recording and what he
Oh
does. And
wow, that'd be fantastic.
in
Yes.
fact, we can even do it when you're there. We'll happen to, we'll have some. We'll just have a big old family fun fest. I'd love to
Right,
get to
you can
know
have
him.
three
And
people on at once.
oh, I can have up to 8 people. In fact, I can
Oh
now, I
wow,
think,
that'd be
have up to
cool.
12, although the screen gets crowded. I
Right.
can, like if I have some other things too. There are some new features where if you add an app to your phone, you can broadcast to 3 of your friends, like in other locations, like on your page. And so I'm going to be making those changes. I just got the updates. I'm kind of in the middle of a little. I've been with these guys since they started, and so
Hmm.
I was there when they first started. I was one of their first clients, so that's given me the right to be able to talk to them and say, "Hey, this is a little funky, and you need to fix this." Like one of the things I want is once you download all the stuff up into the cloud, you have to take them down one at a time. Which, being a guy
Hmm.
who's always like pissed that I'm running behind, I got too much to do. I'm like, what? I got to download this in real time and sit here for there. I have 400 shows on here. I got to download.
I'm not good on
Jeez.
computers. Me and computers are not friends.
No, they're
We're not
tools.
friends at all.
No,
Mm-mm. But
but yeah, you're certainly right. It did sound like a Strat just tearing it up, and hell, I really can't say enough about having you on, and I appreciate you coming on. I know everybody's busy and stuff, and I definitely will plan to be
I
at the
appreciate you
ISSA.
having me. I
Oh,
certainly.
I always like to hear from you if you have something new, but feel free to call
I'll
your
have.
guy, and you can call me on my home number. I think you have it. You don't have to do all the formality. If you don't, I'll send it today, because that way,
Right. I don't know if I do or not, but just send it anyway, so I don't have to scroll through all that stuff. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
So I don't know if
definitely.
I have any idea. But we'll have a no. I have a doozy, good doozy song coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I said, I think I'm gonna try to release it in February, the beginning of February, February
Mm-hmm.
1st probably. I don't even know what day that is, but it's gonna be called I Can Hear Them Sing,
Okay.
and
Cool.
my producer will be having his back vocals in there.
Nice.
It's
Well,
a song that I'm not. Nobody's used to hearing me. It's not country. It's not. It's pop rock, I guess.
mm-hmm. Well, that's
But
good.
it has.
It's good that you're having diversity because on records these days, not that records are that popular, but I grew up with that format. Hell, I still call it a record, but I always think it's important the placement of the songs and things like that you kind of lose when you're just popping out the singles. But I'm also an old guy who still listens to records. Yeah, I still have tons of CDs. And I appreciate all the high tech shit. I have 60,000 songs on my iPad, which if I was to play them
Right. Yeah.
all, it would take 21 years. We counted it up with a calculator. And I was
Wow.
like,
Really.
wow, I can't even sit and listen to them all. It would just go on forever. Let's see, I have a comment
Wow.
up here. Um, hey, Susan, greetings to another friend of mine from New York. What a sweetheart. Susan, I hope Pete's doing great today. You can give him a little pat on his head. Susan has a cat named Pete who's just part of the family, you know. She's also one of
Oh,
my earliest.
I'm a kitty cat person. I'm a kitty cat person, big time.
Well, I'm a cat guy too, and she's got cats. I'm a dog. I like any animals. In fact, given if I had a bunch of money, you have no idea what possibly would be at my house. I don't know. I
Oh,
can think of
heavens.
several things. I would like. I don't know. I like big cats. I'd probably get a cougar or something like that. Get the
Oh, yeah,
licensing and all.
panther.
I love those things, and
I'd get a panther and a male lion just because the male lion are beautiful.
absolutely, all
I like
men.
their manes. They're
Arr.
all wow.
Yeah, that's you know how they say this is how you picture yourself. Well, I picture myself with my long hairs out, like I'm a lion. But then I look in the mirror
Okay.
and I'm like, you're just a dork. I mean, look at this stuff.
That's funny. That's funny.
It's
Yeah,
I can't even get it all out, but it's wet. So
mine's
but
long and everything.
yeah, you know, and my mom. It's funny. Here I am. I'm a 62-year-old guy, and I still do care what my mom thinks. I call her
Yeah,
up. I had a perfect ponytail, so you could not tell that I have long
right.
hair.
Yeah.
And my mom's like, I caught a look at the tail. I know you didn't cut your hair yet.
Ah,
And
busted.
I told her, I said, Ma, it's cold up here. And when it starts to warm up, I'm going to cut it off. I'm used to having short hair for a long time, but I like having it long, to tell you the truth. It's just sort of my show. I can, you know, look like I want. It's not like I'm trying to get a job at, you
That's
know,
right.
I need an afro to be a lion. Well, that can be arranged. I think I could get quite the fro going. And I
Oh
mean,
my, I want to
look at
see
this.
that.
We're talking a serious fro, man. You'd be calling me Link from now on.
What kind of
Well,
hairspray would you use?
no shit. Well, listen, before we go, and I have to do a quick commercial break because the people who pay us for doing very inexpensive ads they get their money's worth. This is a guy, Carlton Wilson, is a music professor at Rutgers, and he teaches in New York, the conservatory. He's an awesome musician. And he's invited me to play drums on his record. So I'm really excited because I'm going to have a
Wow, that's
blast.
awesome.
These two songs that I have in the ad, we're going to change up because we've been listening to him for a while. And his record's so diverse. There's some really great stuff with weird time signatures that kind of makes me as a drummer go, oh, this is something hard. It's not just a pound the nail 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 thing. It's one of
Yeah,
those things you have to learn right because you can't
right.
fake
Gotta
some
have the right
things.
sound.
Exactly. So I'm
What
going to
you
put on
mean?
Carlton Wilkinson, and people, if you like Carlton's music, go to his website. It shows in the video. And then we're going to have our friend from Ireland on because he's also a paying customer, and they go to the top.
There's some changes headed like the Gulf Stream rising, like some gale that's been blowing off this wild bird island shore, and I can't say where. And
There
I
you go,
don't know
CarltonJWilkinson.com.
when. Small door's been open in the restless shade.
2, 4.
Poor man sagging cigarettes takes the subway home. Rich man folding old regrets steps on the rundown below.
And here
Melting flake of snow.
it's from Ireland, do you know? Would you ever guess?
I won't be sad to
They
see
call him Red Fuck here. But
Hi,
he's a red-headed
I'm Darren
Irishman.
F. Flynn, a singer-songwriter from Ireland, and I'm on Live with Neat.
Yes, you are. And what a guy you are.
that it couldn't happen here. The people with
Oh, yes. So, at any rate, that was some Carlton Wilkinson, and he's really a great musician. And I can
I
just
like
tell
the
you,
sound.
he's really worked on his stuff a lot. He's a meticulous. He is a guy he is more fanatical than I am, which is saying something because I'm a pain in the ass sometimes making sure things are right. I don't like having people sing things poorly and auto-tuning them. I like going in there and have everybody know what we're doing and sing like they live, not, oh, can I sing into your microphone? Testing. 1, 2. I know when you sing because I can hear you when you hit the high notes. And as a compliment, I notice a lot of people when they get higher on the notes, they start to get quieter in volume, but you come up. And that is a really nice thing. And I say that with respect because I know in the studio, I know what it's like. And sometimes it can be great. Sometimes you have to do it a couple times. But what's your husband's name?
David.
Hey, Dave, it's Neil. I don't know you by now.
How you doing, Neil?
I'm doing
Just
all
got
right,
into
man. I'm great and glad to have your wife on. And I think you guys are excellent. I really enjoyed your tales. Well, it's funny because I've heard your story of when you went down south and the whole imbroglio you got into. And just that alone, I said, I got to have this woman on because these are my people. That's just what can I tell you? But I'm glad to have you here. And I'm going to do one more song and we're going to call it a day. I have Cold, Cold Heart called up. Is that something you'd like to hear me play? Would that be good?
Sure.
I like all of them, so I picked the ones I like a little more than the others. And
Right.
I,
Well, I just certainly appreciate that.
I like the lyrics to this one too.
Yeah. Thank you.
They're very cool.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
If you wanna be my man, oh, there's gonna be trouble. Try and hurt me, but I don't think you can, 'cause I've been through the rubble. Already been cheated, battered and bruised. Do your best, there's nothing left for you to do. All love's been tainted, nothing inside. It's slowly faded, all that's left is my evil mind. I got a cold, cold heart, just keeps getting colder. It's been ripped and torn apart, over and over. Left me crying in the dark, tears on my shoulder. Now I got a cold, cold heart, and it's just getting colder. So if you wanna be my guy, oh, let this be your warning. The picture painted might be pretty outside, but inside it's storming. Already been cheated, kicked to the curb. So long I thought I'd never learn. All love's been tainted, nothing inside. It's slowly faded, all that's left is my evil mind. I got a cold, cold heart.
right, how about that, people? Tracy, where can we find your stuff?
You can find me on YouTube. That would be the best place to find me. All my music is on YouTube. I have two different channels. I
Okay.
have one that's provided by DistroKid,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have my own personal YouTube channel that I have my songs on. Plus, I do cover songs. That's on my
Sure.
personal YouTube channel. So
Can you are you doing CDs as well?
yes, I do have CDs that
Great.
I have a website, but I'm not very good at
Oh, I
at it.
understand. I don't have a website because I'm terrible at it. I've got to get somebody to hire because
All I can tell you is I got one. There's not much on it. There's my songs are on it and everything, but to learn how to put my CDs on there to sell them, I usually take my CDs with me to when I go karaokeing.
sure.
I'll announce because people are pretty familiar with me, and I'll announce that I have CDs I brought my CDs with
That's
me, and
great.
then they'll, go to my husband and put my table and buy them,
Excellent.
But yeah,
You
that's
know,
what I
I
usually
want to
do
make a point
when it comes
to-
to selling CDs.
I want to say to everybody out there, if you want to help an independent singer-songwriter, one of the things I suggest, buy CDs. Because for 17,000 plays on Pandora, she's going to make .001. That's a cent. Or a tenth. It's a tenth of a cent. So when you buy a CD, people, you can put it up in your cloud and have it on your iPhone, but you're actually putting money into an artist's pocket. Believe
And
me,
we
folks.
certainly appreciate it.
And they're in the studio. This stuff isn't free. And support your local artists. A lot of people talk a good game. Margaret Oldham, I'm so glad to see you here. Thank you so much for watching. I haven't seen you in a while, and we miss you.
Thank everyone who joined.
Yeah, and really, folks, if you want to be on the show, if you haven't been on the show, you know how to find me. It's livewithneve@gmail.com. And, we got stuff for sale too, but I'm not going to sell you right now unless you need a healing here. We can have a little devolution. We'll devolve us. I'm going to smack the devil out of you. Get out of here. I also dabble in Pentecostal priesthood. What I do is I just show up on Sunday and I tell them I'm from the other Baptist primitive down the road and I'm an itinerant preacher. And then I go into my gig. Sometimes the money's good, They're like, oh, this great speaker, I'm kidding. But I've had some interesting experiences playing in church bands. I had one show we went to, being paid. We were like a pretty good gospel band. The only reason I joined them was I sold them a PA system, and then I directed a few of their practices and played drums because they didn't have a drummer there. Next thing I know, they're like, hey, you want to play every Sunday for an hour for $100? Call me getting up early, man. I was there.
Yeah,
and
indeed.
I'm not a particularly I'm not a religious person in terms of Baptist stuff. And
Me neither.
anybody passing snakes around, I kind of leave at that point. And I don't know.
me.
I did it for a long time, and then as I was leaving to go to Europe to play with the Blue Man Group, and the last gig I did with him, the guy made a remark about my earring. He asked me if I was half a fag, and I looked at him and said, do I look like that? Do I put that out? And then I said, I really enjoy playing with you guys, but what you just said to me, I said, my brother died of AIDS like 15 years ago, and he was gay. So that half a faggot stuff, and listen, you either are or you're not. People are like that. That's the way they are. And
Oh no, I don't understand the half part.
yeah, that's what he said, because I only had one earring. And so that was the last day I played there. But interestingly enough, I really liked the band.
I'm sorry about your brother, by the way.
Yes, I'm sorry too. It's been a long time, and he's very missed, and he was a hell of a cool guy. It's I'll say this: he was a better looking version of me. He had blonde hair, he was a really handsome guy, and he's just a good man. End of story. Whatever he did for his hobbies, I didn't know. I found out late when he was dying and what was going on, and I just will tell everybody out there, I had a very complete change of heart. I've at times, being the smartass I am, I've made jokes about everybody on earth. Made gay jokes, made straight jokes. But I'll just say this. After I learned my brother was a gay person, and I saw how his family, his friends, handled it. They welcomed me into their home, and for like the last 6 months as he was going downhill, I'd go by on the way home from work and hang out, and they were so cool. They said, "You can't leave." And I said, "Why? I've got a wife and kids. I'm moving into the back room. What?" He said, "No, we made dinner. Mikey told us what you like to eat for dinner." And I went, "What? What did he tell you to make?" I ate the same dinner at my gigs for 30 years, every night. A steak, a salad, and a baked potato, and a big glass of beer. And my band knew, like my roadie knew, if we're playing second set, we're going to have a long break. He put my order in while we were playing. The girls knew the routine. It was a lot of fun. But
Sounds like it.
I know when I get down to see you, I'll come see you where you're at. I have lots of friends in that neighborhood, and my keyboard player was right up in Weeki Wachi, amazing player, Dave Bond. And hell, we'll get together and hang. I think it'd be a good time.
Wow, that sounds like a great idea. I'd love to.
Well,
So you
I'll
can
be
introduce
down.
me to your friends.
I will, and I'll introduce you to anybody I think can get you any bookings too, because I
That'd be
would
great.
probably be spending some time in Florida a little more this year, but I will see. And even if I'm not there, I can still hook you up with some folks I know who can help you out. And
That'd be great. Fantastic.
well, thank you for coming on, and everybody who's watching, remember, we are on every Friday like clockwork at 10 o'clock or 10:05 or 10:01, and we're on at 4 p.m. or 4:01 or 4:02 p.m.
It's my pleasure being here.
And we're also, any rate, we're going to see you next time, people, and we'll be back with Tracy in a couple of months. She's got a new song. When your new single comes out, I'll reach out to you. Always
Yes, I
feel
will
free.
share it with you the minute it comes out because it's a humdinger.
Well, I'll tell you what, we maybe can do some kind of premiere here on the show for you and have
That'd be
just
great. Thank you.
rip it up. All right, everybody, I'm getting out of here. We are going to leave. I'm going to leave you with
Thank
the
you, everyone.
music from our newest band who's going to be working with us on the show. I think you'll like these guys. They're from Lesotho and they're different. I hope you enjoy it. I don't know if this will go over in Spring Hill, but we'll see.
Thank you.